We've waited. And it's finally happened. The transformation of Little Miss Bliss is upon us. The end of Monday Night Raw saw Alexa Bliss transform from this new demonic persona to the light, bright, happy, colourful Alexa. Now, to be fair, it was done with this graphic that kept flashing on screen, the play glove. This, to me, indicates one thing. It's a game. We know Funhouse Bray loves to play games. Alexa Bliss loves to play. It all makes sense that this is all just mind games from Alexa Bliss and Bray Wyatt. We saw the lights go down and Alexa Bliss seemingly summoned some deadly presence that overcame her for her to become the Fiendess. But of course on Raw there was some things you might have missed, so we got to make this video to talk about them, including the shutdown music Alexa had. When things started to shut down, unlike the Fiend's, Alexa's was very, very different indeed. Listen. Definitely sounded like Funhouse-esque with like the xylophone kind of noise. I don't know what the hell that was or what the hell the song's to. Maybe something new that's going to come in the future. But it's interesting to note, even the screens didn't go black or anything like they do with the Fiend. They went purple. And I do believe that giving Alexa her own unique shutdown, her own unique character, although very similar, is very, very smart of WWE. For those who may have missed it, because some people say that she didn't actually beat Asuka, here's the pinfall. 1, 2, 3. Alexa Bliss was the winner of the match. Alexa Bliss defeated Asuka on Monday Night Raw, presented by the WWE. That's simple. We have to talk about that logo. You can see it very plainly on the front of her attire there, but she hasn't worn that before. It is, however, very reminiscent of the Firefly Funhouse's Wall of Friendship. Bray Wyatt used to hang pictures in the actual Funhouse, and he would cross out their eyes seemingly every time he defeated someone new. They would go onto the Wall of Friendship. So why is Alexa Bliss's logo now got them eyes? Is it because that old logo is now dead? Maybe. Through all the action on Raw, we still even got an Alexa's Playground. A very different looking Alexa's Playground this week on Raw, however. You can clearly see there's now seemingly grass in the ring, and for the first time, the WWE Thunderdome screens were still on. Now, in previous Alexa's Playgrounds, you can see the lights are off, the purple lights, however, are on. There's no grass on the floor, and the Thunderdome screens are turned off. That was not the case this week, as Asuka joined her as a mystery guest. She was not, however, allowed to sit on the swing. Asuka went to sit down, Alexa stopped her immediately, and throughout the entire segment, kept looking over and kept talking to something or someone who wasn't there, or someone that we at least couldn't see. Now, our first thoughts obviously is the Fiend. Was this Bray Wyatt? Was the Fiend there and Alexa can still see him because she's let him in? It does make sense for that point of view. But have we thought that maybe that could be Alexa's demonic character? It's definitely possible. When you think about how Bray Wyatt refers to the Fiend as him, it's like referring to him as somebody else. If Alexa perceives her alter ego to be somebody else, she could see that person sat on that swing, right? Some news from the other day, of course, Alexa Bliss has a new t-shirt out on WWE Shop right now, Play and Pain, with the forefront. You can see like the cracks in the actual image itself, and it just looks amazing, doesn't it? Just be honest. It looks great. I've already ordered one myself. I'm sure you're probably going to as well. But genuinely, it's awesome to see her start getting her own merchandise because, of course, she's had the Play and Pain gloves come out recently as well. But it means that WWE are investing in her and this character, and it means it's around for a long time to come yet. On Saturday, WWE announced the next 3 WrestleMania dates and locations. I wish there was London, England. I really do. But nonetheless, WrestleMania has been announced. Not the biggest Funhouse news, but although you could kind of say that Bray Wyatt and Alexa Bliss will probably be main event of most of them. But the bigger Funhouse news was You Can't See Me. Of course, John Cena's first appearance on WWE television since the Firefly Funhouse match. Brilliant. And I love that he went by the name Hugh Can't See Me. Perfect. Now, it's worth mentioning this is a commercial. It's not actually part of Raw and SmackDown. I wouldn't perceive this to be anything storyline. So, it's not, but it's worth mentioning. Just like we have to mention, Alexa Bliss entered herself into the 2021 Royal Rumble! That's what you get this week because there's no Puppet Watch. But I am super happy for this. Of course, it does lead the question. We all thought maybe Asuka versus Alexa for Royal Rumble. Not going to be the case indeed. But are they investing so much in this character that she could be the person to go to WrestleMania and face Asuka there? Very possible. Now, at the very start of Raw, we saw Randy Orton wearing a brand new mask. It's not a wrestling mask, let's point that out. It's a medical mask because he sustained burns last week during the fireball being thrown at him incident with Alexa Bliss. Now, this was really cool. What we now see is almost like a pyromaniac Randy Orton. He was like addicted to fire. He had to light that match. He had to see the flames. The flames are what caused his injury. He said he didn't blame Alexa and stuff like that, which is very interesting. But I get just so many comparisons here with Kane. Kane, who suffered burns to his face as a child by his brother, The Undertaker. That was the story of Kane. And Kane wore his mask to hide his disfigured face that wasn't actually disfigured. Like, he didn't have burns like he believed he had. He was led to believe it to turn him into a monster. And that was the story of Kane. And that is very, very, very mirror of what we are currently now seeing on Monday Night Raw with Randy Orton. Randy Orton saying his face was ugly and he had to wear it not only to protect himself and protect his face, but to shield his face from other people so we didn't have to see the horrific injuries he sustained. WWE already told us they were minor. And I believe it's the voices in Randy Orton's head that's telling him that he's now disfigured, he's now ugly, that these burns have destroyed him. We know him and Alexa had a whole back and forth about who controlled whose voices in their heads. If Bray controls Randy's, then he can lead Randy Orton to believe that he is now disfigured, that he has to wear a mask. This could be the curse of Bray Wyatt, forcing Randy Orton to forever wear a mask. Randy has made such a big thing in recent weeks about how Bray was a coward hiding behind his mask and how he doesn't need a mask to do the dastardly things he does. That would make sense that Bray Wyatt would then want to make sure Randy Orton had to wear a mask. Smart. Of course, Orton said he blamed The Fiend because The Fiend didn't want Randy Orton to accomplish his destiny to once again win the Royal Rumble. He was watching things on a monitor and basically said he was still going to win the Royal Rumble match. Now, to me, this says Randy Orton's going into the Royal Rumble match, and that is where Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, or whatever new incarnation of Bray Wyatt is going to come back, will return, costing Randy Orton Royal Rumble victory. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy that we're finally going to be so close to getting The Fiend back. It's going to be good. Now, I forgot to add this in earlier, so I'll include it here. Alexa's Playground did have a new graphic this week, of course, with Asuka in the cloud. And I know some of you really do like me including these, so it's something you might have missed. There it is. Of course, I want to give a massive shout out to Asuka in this video. Her acting tonight, being scared of Alexa Bliss, was perfect. And the fact that we saw Alexa Bliss try to perform the mandible claw. No idea, by the way, why Alexa took the plain gloves off. Bit strange. But she did, and she tried to go for that mandible claw. Asuka did block it, and she wasn't successful in getting it in. But it does add that question, is that the Fiendess? We know the story of Bray Wyatt. It's already happened. We know it. He had to take time to learn the Fiend and learn that power. And Alexa Bliss has probably taken the exact same amount of time. Someone researched that. How long was the Firefly Funhouse on for? And how long has Alexa Bliss been now running around transforming until we reach this final stage. It would be interesting to point out. Someone in the comment section, I'm sure, will answer that question. But nonetheless, I'm sure that's exactly what's happened. Alexa Bliss has taken time to develop these powers, develop the inner fiend inside of her, and now we are finally seeing that manifestation. We are seeing Little Miss Bliss become the Fiendess. Now, I understand a lot of people don't like this kind of stuff, and I understand why, but here's the thing. Wrestling has always been wacky, weird, colourful, and characteristic, and that's exactly what we're currently seeing. We're seeing developmentation of characters, and if you enjoyed it, that is what matters. Don't let other people put you off things you enjoy. Just sit down and enjoy them, and if you don't like them, shut up. Don't watch, don't talk about it, and just do whatever else makes you happy in life, because this is obviously isn't it, is it? And also, if you didn't enjoy it, why the hell are you watching this video? Because it's all about the Firefly Funhouse. Yowie wowie! Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you next time. Peace!